Alright, welcome back. Demacating of Abia State won't distract me. Alright, the news in detail. Governor OKezie Ikpeazu of Abia State believes that no amount of criticism will distract his administration or put him under pressure, as he is focused on repositioning the state. In this interview, he speaks on the Eyimba Economic City project and how his administration is infrastructure in the state, among other issues. Felix Onwaneri reports. All right. The question has been that you were part of the Nigerian delegation at the African Investment Forum, AIF, held in Johannesburg, South Africa in 2019, where you made a presentation on the Eyimba Economic City. How far has the project gone? All right, this question has been asked, and Nigeria went to South Africa then with two projects: the Lagos Cable Car and the Eyimba Economic City. As the chief promoter of Eyimba Economic City, I delivered a speech to convince investors on the need to come and invest on the project. I must say that the Eyimba Economic City is a project I am emotional about, and I want it to be the icing on my cake or the crown on my head. The project is my response to our dilemma in this country. Our population will double by 2030, and characterizing our population shows that it is a youthful population. So, what would happen after 2030 if we remain the way we are without doing anything dramatic about job creation will certainly make the #EndSARS protest a child's play. We will get to a point where man will start eating man because of hunger, as someone alluded. So you can imagine what will happen if our population doubles by 2030 and we have not created enough jobs for our youth. So we said, what is it that we can do to double step job creation? And for us who have thrived in manufacturing, we decided to promote the Eyimba Economic City, which is conceptualized around the vision of Dubai of come, work, and play. We will present a platform for you to come, work, and live there, and we have carefully chosen a site from where, if you do 150 kilometers in any direction, you have covered all the states in the southeast and south-south. We chose a site that is close the economy of Aba and Port Harcourt between the two cities. We have 9,200 hectares of land, and we said let everybody come together so that we can develop the place. And for the first time in the history of this country, the federal government has graciously granted an export-free zone to the Eyimba Economic City, and we have acquired the land and started mapping it out. Of course, everything in that city will be world class. Luckily, we had gotten some companies that have agreed to partner with us. We have also gotten someone from China who has taken up about 200 hectares of land for the purpose of manufacturing of textile materials. This means that Aba tailors will no longer be going to China to source for materials. We also needed to talk about the issue of power, and luckily we have geometrics, and we are hopeful that all issues around it takes off have been resolved, as Afrexim Bank has provided the resources to do their turbines. So everything we needed to do, we have done, as agreements have been signed and we have set up a secretariat. The only issue we had was the outbreak of COVID-19, which is an act of God that nobody has control over. But we are hopeful that 2021 will see a more visible progress on that project. So I implore all Nigerians to invest their emotions and prayers in that project because it will create over 600,000 jobs, and we don't have up to that figure in Abia State. This means that Nigerians from across the various regions would be accommodated. It will interest you to know that the person who is managing our automated shoe factory is from the southwest because we are running it as a business. And from a selfish point of view, we want to hear the machines sing and see how our boys will not copy what the big industries are doing. That was what the Chinese did that took them to where they are today. All right, and that has been said so far by the governor of Abia State. And then a question has been asked. It is said that you have not been able to do the road that leads to your community close to 6 years that you have been in power. When are you going to do that road? Okay, a nice question. And then he replied by saying, I will do that road, but like I said earlier, as a person, I do things that give me joy. I want to say that from 2015 up to 2020, that road was not a priority, but in 2021, it will be a priority. I am conscious that I still have more than 2 years to go and I am not in any court with anybody. So I am not afraid that I would be unseated. Okay, another question says, your administration came up with an airport project which some elders in the state objected to on the ground that it is not a priority for now. Is the airport a priority project for Abia State given the distance between the Owerri airport and Umuahia as well as Aba? And are you still going ahead with it? Okay, and then he replied by saying that, well, I still think that we need an airport in Abia State because access is key if you want to grow commerce and industry. Secondly, without deriding anybody, most of the airports we have in Nigeria are not ideal airports. An airport is not a park. It is not a place where you rush to board a flight. I have so much respect for the former governor of Lagos State because I saw in him someone with a vision. Given what he wanted to do with the Oshodi bus terminal, about 5 or 6 million people pass through Oshodi on a daily basis, and all he wanted to do was to aggregate them by building a modern bus terminal that will capture them and display things for them. Okay, all right, as people move around the terminal, there would be one or two things that will attract their attention, and because the ambience is there, they are likely to buy them. But if the place is rowdy and pickpocketers are everywhere, they are not likely stay for an additional minute. So what he wanted to do was to aggregate travelers and make them spend money because about 6 million on a daily basis is a huge resource. My ideal airport is the Dubai airport. If you go to that airport with $200,000, believe me, you are bound to spend everything there because you will see a lot of things to buy. You and I know that people fly into Dubai just to hold meetings at the airport. Okay, so I was looking at an airport that will have an hotel, not an airport that will close by 7 p.m. An airport you can say, I am traveling to Lagos by 7 a.m. So let me go there, dance at the club, have my dinner, and next day I am off. Okay, all we wanted to do is to create an environment where money will change hands, because that is how to grow the gross domestic product (GDP). Those who pass through the airport have money, and most times they are looking for what to spend the money on, but they hardly find any. Okay, and what we wanted to do with the airport project was to create an economic hub, an airport with conference centers where people can have meetings and pay. But my people said I needed to do other things because good I am a good listener. I have decided to retain the airport as a priority project while going back to do other things, but God willing, I will deliver that airport. Okay, God willing, I will deliver that airport. He has said so far. And a lot of questions keep coming in onto this one. But meanwhile, well, let me have more take from you on this one, and remember to subscribe for more updates. Thanks and God bless.